Career fatigue happens when we get to that point in our day to day that we start realizing that we're not actually able to produce at the level we were in the past. And then we start having increased anxiety, increase ability, decrease rather ability to be able to concentrate and to focus. And then we're just not producing the level of work that we're capable of.
And can this happen whether you're working from home or whether you're going to work every day?
Yes, it can happen in both situations. But what we're finding is with more people doing a hybrid job situation, that we're seeing a lot more career fatigue because people have let down their normal boundaries. Where we would normally, you get in the car and you leave the office, you know that your workday is ended. When it's at home, it's a lot easier to incorporate the home life and the work life to a point that those boundaries disappear.
How do you find out if you're feeling career fatigue? Are there questions you should be asking yourself? Are there signs of this?
Yes, that's really one of the first steps to diagnosing yourself is to start looking at, are there parts of my work that appear to be draining me quicker than they have in the past? Maybe you are getting agitated when working with clients. Maybe you've noticed that you're not able to think outside of the box as quickly or be innovative or as creative as you have in the past. Or you may just find that you've lost the joy and the passion you once had for that particular career. There's different types of fatigue that can occur. And one of those types of fatigue is what we call social fatigue. And it's fatigue that we get when we're around people who are constantly needing things from us. So if you notice that you're really irritable with your children or your spouse after you come home from work and they really haven't done anything to deserve that behavior, it could very well be that career fatigue is actually what's causing you to have that personality change.
Okay, so maybe you're feeling less enthused about work these days. How do we address this? How do we start tackling career fatigue?
Well, one of the very first steps is really to start establishing some healthy work life boundaries, to start looking at what are the things that I do that help me to feel rejuvenated, to feel refreshed, renewed, and to start applying some time within our day to being very intentional about doing some of those restorative processes, those restorative activities to pour back into the places where our career starts draining.
So does it make sense, maybe you're in the middle of a big work project and you just need a mental timeout. Does it make sense to just get up and walk around the house or walk around the building?
And the work that we've done with people regarding burnout and really trying to overcome this career fatigue, what we found is that most people, it's a specific area that their work is draining. And so just doing any type of restorative activity may not be as beneficial as doing the right restorative activity. So if you are creatively draining your energy, then you may need some creative rest to pour back into that place of deficiency. Or if you are mentally very taxing work or lifestyle, then you may have to do some mental rest activities to help pour back into that area. It's really being intentional about doing the restorative activities that fill back up the bucket that you're depleting at your work.
What would one of those restorative activities look like, just as an example?
Yeah, so if you're someone who your job requires you to do a lot of outside of the box thinking, being innovative, coming up with new ideas, or even problem solving, all of those are creative processes. And so the way we restore creatively is through what we call creative rest. It is allowing yourself to appreciate beauty in whatever form to pour back into that place of creativity. Some people experiencing that by looking at images of the beach or the ocean. Others people experience it by looking at artwork and just really recognizing that for you to stay in a place of high creativity, that we also have to be poured back into that place of creativity.
Let me ask you this. What can happen if you don't address what you're feeling right now? Will this eventually lead to just burnout?
Yes, the World Health Organization describes burnout as having three main characteristics. The first being fatigue, the second being a loss of joy or passion for the work that you do, and then the third part being a decrease in your productivity. And so what we end up seeing is that there's a lot of people right now who are on the verge of burnout. They already don't enjoy the work that they're doing. They're chronically tired. And we have to recognize that to reverse that process, to get back to a place of not having this chronic ongoing fatigue, we really just have to be mindful of what type of fatigue we're experiencing and address it sooner than later, to not allow it to get to that place of burnout where we feel like we have to change professions and to uproot our lives, but actually start applying some steps now so that you can take some small changes, some small strategies to revive yourself and start improving that situation.